Alright, so we finished up the lighting on our visitor car, and as you can see, all the lights are back bright. The bottom ones are LEDs, and the passenger side xenon is now an LED, and LEDs for the little fog lamps. But as you can see, this one is a little yellow, and it's a little yellow because it's still the original xenon. And the reason why it's still the original xenon is because one of the LED lights from this company that the owner got it from didn't work when it was installed. Alright, so right up inside of here is the little door that allows you to access that xenon bulb, or that D1S bulb. But I'm going to take the wheel off so we can get the camera angle in there. But you can see there's plenty of room. You just have to take the couple screws out and then flop it down, and then you'll be able to access that bulb compartment. But let me get the wheel took off real quick, and then we can get the camera angle in there a little bit better so you can see what's going on. Alright, so with the wheel out of the way, we got a little bit better view here with the camera angle. But like I say, you don't need to take it off, it's just easier to show. So we're going to swap out this xenon bulb for the bad LED, just to show that that LED is bad. And so all you do is reach up at the top, and there's a little tab up there. So you just pull downward, and you'll see it right there. The little tab, you just squeeze down on it, and it pops the door open. So right inside of there is the xenon bulb. So let me get some gloves, because I want to make sure I don't hurt that xenon bulb. And now, all we got to do is there's two little metal spring tabs, so you just push in on them and pop the little spring tab sideways. You'll see it right there. And then there's one on this side, and you pop it, and that frees up the bulb. Now to get the bulb out, what you got to do is pull out on it a little bit, and then kind of negotiate it, give it a little twist, and you can slide it out. You see the cable's in the way right there, so it makes it a little more difficult. So there's our xenon bulb. And so what we're going to do is take him off. I'm going to save him because I got to put that back in there. So here's our LED bulb. And so all we got to do is make sure we put the connector in there correct. And so we just slide him around and pop the connector on like that. And then we got to carefully put it back in there, and you'll see where it goes. And there you go. So a little bit of rotation to get the LED bulb in, and then he just sets right back in there. And then all we do is put the clips back on, and we'll be good to go. So push on the bulb and bring the clip down and secure that one side, and then we'll put this clip in and secure the other. And there we go. So our new bulb is in. So without turning the camera off, let me walk around here. You saw me install it, and I'm going to fire the car up and show that that bulb is not working. So let me get the camera moved back over here. And we're going to be looking at that bulb right there. So let me get the car and fire it back up. And there you go. So you can see, fresh out of the box, the bulb's not any good. So that doesn't give me a warm, fuzzy feeling that that one over there is going to last any time, because this one wouldn't even light straight out of the box. So let me shut it back off. I'll leave the camera right here and change that bulb out to the xenon, and then we'll fire it back up and show that it's not any issues with the ballast or anything like that. And there we go. So now the xenon's back in place. We're still live, hadn't edited the video any. So now let me turn the car back on, and we'll light up the xenon bulb. And there we're back lit up again. Alright, so the owner's still going back and forth with this company that sells these D1S LED bulbs that replace the Xenon. And they got the bulb back. He returned the bad bulb that I put in on the driver's side that it didn't work. And they said the bulb was good. And so they asked, why didn't you take the good bulb that was on the passenger side, which is this one right here. The other one's been returned to them, so they're going to send another one back. Why didn't I take that one and put it over on the driver's side to see if it would work? Well, my Xenons work. And so if the Xenon works over here, why wouldn't the LED work if it's 100% compatible? But just because they ask, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swap this LED over to and replace the Xenon over on the driver's side, and we're going to see if this thing will light up. So here we go. Not too hard to do. I just had to lift the car back up, and I got enough room between the wheel and the top here, so I'm going to take the little thing off and we're going to change out this bolt and we're going to see. So they also asked, why didn't I let it hang down and check it, because they thought maybe the cable might have got disconnected. So we're going to do that. We're just going to leave it right here and we're going to light it up. There we go. So there is our Xenon bulb right there. And what I want to do is just hang him up here so I can see if he's going to light up. Alright, so let's get our key and we'll light him up. It'll be much brighter than that flashlight, so you ain't got to worry about that. Alright, so there you go. So we see our Xenon bulb is burning bright. So now we can turn the car off. So we verified that everything's working over here. Let's shut it off and switch out for that LED. And this is the working one that came out of the passenger side. Let's put him in there. And I'm not going to put it up in there just in case the cables or whatever. Let's get him up here where we can see him. Like that. Alright, so now let's light him up and see if he works. And there we go. So there's our LED shining bright on this side over here. Everything looks pretty good. So we confirmed that something must have been wrong with that other bulb, because this one lights up fine. Alright, well I may have spoke too soon. The bulb did light up, so that means everything over here is working. But now, when I tried it, all it does is make this little flick. So something's up with these bulbs. Either they're working for a second and now they don't work anymore, or something's going on. So we're going to have to check this out and see. So let me zoom in here and I'll show you what it's doing with the little flick thing. It's almost like it can't ignite. So that makes me wonder whether or not a ballast that'll drive the Xenon, that's perfectly happy to drive the Xenon, just can't drive these bulbs. Alright, so let's light them up. And you saw that little flick. So all you get is that one little flicker right there. It's not enough to ignite that bulb. And you can flick, I'm flicking the switch back and forth. So it's just not wanting to light that bulb up. Alright, so now it's got me wondering, did I just burn out my ballast? What did I do when I put this bulb in here? So now I got to change this thing out, and I'm going to check it with the Xenon. It's kind of warm. Check it with the Xenon and see if I didn't just ruin my ballast with that bulb, because now the little bulb won't light up. So let's put our Xenon back in and hope that it lights up still. Alright. Try this again. Getting annoying. Okay, so the Xenon still works, thank goodness, so it didn't burn my ballast out. But that's got me wondering, I wonder if the ballast is not strong enough to run those LEDs when it's plenty strong enough to run these Xenons. I think I'm going to have to pull this ballast off, because the only other theory I got is maybe this original ballast, because I changed the ballast out on the passenger side, and that may be why it lit up on the passenger side, is because we have a new ballast. Whereas on this side, that was the original ballast that was in here, and I just changed the bulb out, and then that bulb's causing problems. So I think we're gonna have to get set up, and we're gonna have to take this whole nose off here, and I'm gonna have to swap that ballast, because now I'm just about proving a point to try to figure out if this LED is not truly compatible 100% with these Xenons, because the ballast has got to be real strong, like real new, and that ballast would work for the Xenons, but it won't work for these LEDs. So we might have a compatibility issue where you got to have a good ballast in order to run these LEDs. If that's the case, I wouldn't change it out to these LEDs, because I'm sure not going to want to change these ballasts out all the time if it's overdriving my ballast. So we'll get set up to take this nose off and see about changing out to a new ballast, and then see if that LED will light. Alright, so with the light assembly on the bench, I'm going to change out this ballast right here, and I'm going to mark it good because it still works. That way, if we need to swap one out, this one should still be good. So all we got to do is take the bolts loose. And then we just raise up on the little fella. Pop him loose from his seal there. And as you can see, if you were watching the other video, this has got a big old gasket in there that seals that little fella off. That other one didn't have it. And so then we ran into issues. So in order to get him out of there, there's not a lot of wiggle room on the wires, but you take that little guy loose, gives you a little more freedom, and then we can pop the big connector loose. You just have to wiggle, and it'll come off there. So what we got to do is transfer this seal, because somebody let that off the other one. And like I say, this one's still good. I'm going to put it back in the packaging. So let me just set it somewhere safe. Now I'm going to put this O-ring back in here that seals that up, and we're going to get our new ballast, and we're going to reinstall. So same way it goes, just get your pins oriented right. A little bit funny. We'll get our pins in, then we're going to get our little connector, pull him up and clip him in. Hard to see there, but he just clips up inside of there. Like that. And then we plop the little guy back down in there. Like that right there. Alright, so we'll put our screws back on and we'll take it over to the car, and we'll see if those LEDs have to have a really good ballast in order to work, because that's going to be a bunch of junk right there that they wouldn't work on a ballast that actually still lets the xenon bulb work. I don't think I'd want to put them on my car, because it's probably just going to overdrive these ballasts. But we'll see here in just a minute. And there we go. So back to the car where you go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Alright, so with our light module back in, I haven't buttoned the front up yet, but we got it in with the new ballast on it. And so now I'm going to put the xenon in, and we're going to verify that that xenon bulb will light. Then we're going to try that LED. So with a new pair of gloves, we got to connect up our connector. Get that back on there. Then we just got to install our xenon. And we'll leave it hanging right there. Alright, so let's verify that ballast is good with the xenon bulb. We'll light the car up again. And there we go. The xenon is shining bright. So let's shut it back off and put the LED on and see if this LED lights up with this new ballast. Alright, let's swap out for the LED. So now with the LED bulb going to be installed, if it lights up, then it's going to tell us that these LED bulbs require a really strong ballast to light. So if you buy them and then install them and one doesn't work, then your ballast may be a little bit older, but the ballast is still working fine on the Xenon. So here we go. Let's light up the LED and see what it does. Alright, so there we go. We can see that with a new ballast, that LED bulb will work. But that makes you wonder why it won't work with an older ballast when that older ballast will still light up the Xenons. So I think that guy is pulling a lot of power through that ballast, and I don't know if I'd want to use it on my car because it may shorten the life of the ballast, and then you got to take the whole nose off, swap those ballasts and things out. So I'd call this an incompatibility issue. It's not 100% compatible, because it is compatible if you have good ballast, like new ballast, but it's not compatible with a ballast that still works and still drives the Xenons, but won't drive that LED. So there we go. I'd probably say these LEDs, we need to just put them back in the box and then we'll button this thing back up. But that's my take on it. I don't think I'd be running these D1S LEDs if they require a new ballast in order to make them work right. Well, there we go. We'll button her all back up. And thanks for watching.